G'day and welcome to the Country Rugby League show. Paul Arandale, Geoff Stevenson back for another episode, and we're starting to get pretty chilly out there.
It's getting cold. There's plenty of rugby league to watch. Sit in your lounge room on flicking around BarTV this time of year.
Yeah, that's the best place to be, I reckon, although it's still good to go to the local footy and get a steak singer.
Do a bit of both, yeah, get a bit of both in your weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah. Did you go anywhere on the weekend?
Yeah, I actually went down to Berry.
Oh, yeah.
On a bit of a weekend away, just trip, yeah. and caught up with Berry and Jamboree. Had a that was very funny. Jamboree had a cracker of a game, massive crowd.
Yeah,
very impressive.
Yeah.
So South Coast people love getting to the footy. Like they really, really do get good crowds there all the time.
Yeah, no, it was. It is a great place down there, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, like Jamboree would. I guess the good thing down there is that they're like. A lot of clubs are close together.
Yeah.
I think it'd help with the away teams, but it also sort of hinders it too because you've only got your little patch,
Yeah.
like Warilla's so close to Shell Harbour. Warilla people really need to sort of be in their own little kind of, what do you call it, fortress of their own over there.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get through the highlights first. To kick off, we'll go up north where it's a bit warmer. We'll go to the sunny coast.
Bit of a night game.
Yep, plenty of night games up there. This is round 5, so it was a catch-up round for Sunny Coast. And, Maroochydore picking up the win 30-20 over Caloundra.
There's a lot of kicking tries being scored at the moment, all over the country.
And Noosa travelled to Nambour and put on a bit of a show, picking up the win 34-22.
Yeah, look at that play. It's like the old scissor play, it looked like, from the previous years.
And Biwa hosted Gympie, and the Bulldogs hammered the Devils 48-18. Almost a bit of a clash of cutlass, really.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to pick there. Yeah, good try that, though. And they look very, very strong.
And look at this one here. There's the same fellow scoring here. The ball's never dead.
Yeah. There's an acting fullback there, but it's a fullback nightmare for a fullback trying to deal with those sort of kicks. And
at Kawana Sports Ground, the final one of round 5, Kawana Dolphins getting the win over Caboolture. Was it 16-10? It was a real arm wrestle, this one. Yeah,
it's good to see Kawana back in the winning list this weekend.
I love the ground with the hedge for a fence in the background.
Yeah, it'd be more soft when the winger sort of runs into it after they're trying to put the ball down, I guess. Much more comfortable than some of those NRL ones.
Yeah, there's the ladder for you. It's kind of a strange one. We don't know if they get 3 points for a win or 4 points for a win. But
no. I thought you were going to say it's strange because like everyone's played the same amount of games, which is very rare at the moment around the country. Yeah. Like this must be one of the few ladders in country rugby league right now where everyone's played the same amount of games. But yeah, I think you're right. It's hard to work out, but it gives scope for a lot of those teams who are out of the semis to sort of qualify.
Yeah. Well, we'll just move down the road a bit. Gold Coast Rugby League, it was round 9, and Runaway Bay got the win over Ormo 20-16, a couple of late tries. And here Ben Hannett crossing for Currumbin. The Eagles picking up the win 40-20 over Helensvale.
Had 5 players on him then when he put the ball down.
Yeah.
Still a big, strong fella.
And a big game at Tugun. It was the Seahawks, the home team, getting over the Burleigh Bears. That's 2 in a row.
I couldn't believe that. I was down in Berry and I was checking the scores. I could not believe it. I thought they must have got the teams wrong.
Back to front, yeah. So Tugun 31-12 getting over the Burleigh Bears, and they slipped to 5th on the ladder. That's a good win for
comprehensive.
The Seahawks.
They look confident, Tugun.
And this one was a bell ringer of a match at Firth Park, Mudgery Bar. Leaving it late, this is the winning try right here.
Oh, flew through the air there. I'm worried they're going to get injured one day celebrating. They've got teammate jumping on his shoulders.
A tough goal to convert there. So well done to Mudgery Bar. Picking up the win 22-20. And there's the ladder, the Redbacks on top.
Yeah, they're looking strong. But you can see those bottom 3 teams. Think of last year and how Helensvale sort of were well and truly last. There's a lot more form out of those bottom teams now to kind of, they may not get into the semis, but they're very competitive this year.
And we'll go down the Pacific Highway. It was round 10 of the Denton Engineering Cup, and Lakes United got the win over Curry 20-12. There was a couple of bad injuries for Curry, but apparently both players are okay or recovering.
Yeah,
the best they can.
That's good to hear.
And the Central Coast Derby, Wyong-Roos, they didn't have it all their way, but they got the win over the entrants 24-8. And here at Townsend Oval, South Newcastle with the win, a big win over Macquarie,
That was
26 to 16.
That was a really telling clash, yeah. I mean, this was going to be the one that may not decide a semi-final berth, but it'll go a long way for South's confidence for sure.
Yeah. And this one was the feature match. Maitland got out to a 18-6 lead. Then Central come back, got a penalty to be in front 20-18. Kaya Cooper had another outstanding game for the Butcher Boys. And then just a careless tackle at the end gave Maitland a penalty goal, and Brock Lamb made no mistake. 20-all. Now Wests, they haven't had a W next to their name all year, but they got the win at home against Cessnock, arch rivals these two, and a good try here to get the win 18-16.
Very confident play. I don't obsess over it, but I'm intrigued with the West story the past couple of years. The question is now what happens next, because last year they then went on, after they won one game, to win a whole heap. I think it was like 5 in a row. It was only COVID that stopped them. Yeah. They could have been going on into the semi-final period. So I'd like to see what happens next with the old Rosellas at the moment. Yeah, well, there's the ladder. Pickers way out in front. But look, West down the bottom. They meet the Pickers this weekend. They're 4 wins away from the top 5. Yeah, you can see the
surely not.
Second, third and fourth there have a game in hand. So that probably won't decide the minor premiership, but it will decide where they sit in the semis there, how they do with that catch-up game.
All right, we move down to Canberra, where it's starting to get a little cool down this way. And Woden Valley hosted the Gungahlin Bulls, and the Bulls were leading for most of the game, but this good try here from the halfback.
Yeah, very creative when you see a gap run into it.
22-14, Woden Valley over Gungahlin. Then the match of the round, or the feature match, was Queanbeyan Blues against Yass Magpies, and the Blues just had an absolute field day, 62-18.
Yeah. Now this is Matt Parsons.
Yeah,
scored how many tries? 4.
4
tries. Yeah. I mean, come on, with that sort of talent, I don't know whether there'll be other codes knocking or other competitions knocking.
And he's another one. He's just finishing off.
Those tries admittedly, he's waiting for that last ball. He's very good at backing up.
Yeah, and gets a cramp for good measure. On Sunday, there was 2 games. Tuggeranong took on Goulburn City, and the Bushrangers picking up the points. Good victory for them, 24-12. And they had some work to do with the wind as well there at Goulburn.
Yeah, it's been everywhere.
And West Belconnen, they got the win over Queanbeyan Roos, 16-10. Good finish here for the Warriors to, I think, remain on the top of the ladder. We'll get that up there. There it is, the ladder.
Yeah, there it is. Yep, nice and comfortable there at the moment. It's that mid-table that's kind of interesting at the moment, isn't it? The Kangaroos are going to have to probably start putting their finger out a bit, as well as Belconnen. But yeah, there's also scope there for Woden Valley and Queanbeyan Blues to kind of move up a bit as well. Yeah,
so that was round up. They have the bye, well, a week off this weekend. They've got a bit of a rep thing happening down there at Canberra. We'll touch on that very shortly.
Yeah.
So we go to the Illawarra. It was the magic round, and how good does Wynn Stadium look?
Yeah, fantastic. And I can't really see what the crowd was like there, but the conditions were fantastic, and it's just something different, unique. You know, like if you're a fan of these clubs, you can go and enjoy it in a bit of comfort or different kind of venue to watch it at.
Yeah, Dapto won 46-32 over Corrimal, and De La Salle got the win over Helensburgh 28-14.
Yeah, I like their jersey. I think it's the away jersey for De La Salle.
No, that's their home jersey.
Yeah, I like it.
Thuril hit 50 against Cronulla Caringbah. So I think, most of the crowd, they were on the Canberra side of the ground.
You'd be in the shade and they're sort of out of the way and that kind of thing. But, yeah, it would have been just a fantastic venue to have a day of rugby league. Yeah,
some good tries for the Butchers. And the final game was Collegians against Wests. And it was the second half. Collies just really blew West off the park. It was very even the first half, but big win for Collies, 46-16. And isn't it good to see a balding fullback?
Yeah, it's fantastic. There aren't enough of them around, to be honest. There's a lot of, I think there's a lot of balding halves and 5'8", but no fullbacks.
2 balding hosts here on the CRL.
Yeah, come on.
And you can see Collies on top of De La Salle and Thuril. So they are the 3 top teams. But West, they'll be better for the run, I think, next time they meet Collies later on in the year.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a pattern for the rest of the year, but you look at the games in hand there as well. Thuril's got a game in hand. I guess most comps, except Sunshine Coast, are going to always have to think about that when you look at the ladder.
Yeah. And they've got a mini Magic round this weekend at Dapto Showground.
Dapto double header. Is that what? Remember when there was the triple headers and the double headers in NRL? You know, was that a big deal? Maybe that was what it could be.
We moved down to the South Coast Group 7 and Jamboree. They had a field day against Berry.
You can't see me there because I'm not in the crowd. I'm on this side of the camera.
So you might have been up in the grandstand. Yeah, good win, Jamboree, 54-6 over Berry.
Very strong.
Gerringong just did everything right. Poor old Albion Park couldn't take a trick. 62-0, the Lions over the Eagles.
Look at that flick. Yeah, they had a field day, literally.
And Warilla, they travelled down to Nowra, and again, 50-0, or 50-22 it was actually. I don't know where I've got nil from, but 50-22, Warilla over Nowra. And the Stingrays of Shell Harbour didn't have it all their own way against the Milton Ulladulla Bulldogs, but they got the win 32-24. And then finally, Kiama looked like they were home and hose here with this try. They led 28-12, and Shell Harbour Sharks come back and steal here.
In seconds to go.
Great try in the corner, and they kicked the goal from the sideline to level it up at 28-all.
That's fantastic. The touchy was there, made sure it got the ball down. That's a fantastic result.
Yeah, and still the most picturesque ground.
It's just as ridiculous. Even on a plain, dull day, it's fantastic.
I think if you had a top 10 list of the most picturesque grounds in rugby league. I reckon Group 7's got about 4 or 5 in the top 10.
Yeah, I know. I just sit there and love watching it. I yearn to go. That's why I often go down there. I yearn to go down there just by looking at the beautiful images from BarTV.
Well, let's go up north again. We'll go to NRRL, the Northern Rivers Regional Rugby League, and Coogin getting the win over Maris Brothers. Where have I got that on my notes here? I've lost it. 32-22, sorry about that. And Bilambil and Evans Head had a close one with Evans Head getting the win 26-24. Real close one. Then Tweed Heads, they blew Kyogo off the park 42-14. And Mullumbimby also had a big win over Lower Clarence. I thought this one might have been a lot closer.
Yeah.
But the Giants winning 54-14 over the Magpies. Yeah, great run.
You think is he covered? No, he's not covered. He just turns on a bit extra pace there and finishes off.
And it's good to see a few caravans there in the local ground.
Yeah. Might be something to boost tourism. You could go watch a game of rugby league while you're there.
That's it. And Moolumbar defeated Byron Bay 46-6. I don't know what happened to Byron Bay, but the old saying, they just didn't turn up.
No, there's been a few blowouts in Northern Rivers this weekend, really.
Yeah. And here it is, I mentioned this before, Bilambil and Evans Head. Evans Head getting the win here. Well, that equalised, as you can see, in the red, and then they got the goal to win the match. And there's the table.
Yeah.
It's a bit how you go on this table at the moment. There's a lot of catch-up games.
There are, and it's more than when you get your 2 games away from the field. It sort of is. There's really, it does get hard to predict what's going to happen next. Like you can see, Byron's played 5 games there, but everyone around him has played 4. Northern United's played 2, so it'd be hard to know how it'll look at the end. But so far, so good for teams like Coogin and like Evans Head. That was an important win for them. That's really boosted them up, in the top 3.
Yeah. And I believe Thursday night, so you might be watching this on Thursday night, Wollongbar are scheduled to take on Northern United, but things could change.
Who knows? But that's Thursday night footy. I like these ideas. I like these comps are doing different things around the country.
Well, that's all the highlights, mate. Let's go around the groups.
Around the groups we go. Not a lot this weekend. There was a lot of cool images and stuff. I know I actually should have got his name, but there's obviously someone at Southwest Rocks that is quite a good photographer and has all the cool gear because they had a drone up in the sky. Oh. I don't think it was called like the Fox League drone. Well, I don't know what you call it in Southwest, the Southwest Rocks Bowling Club drone or something. But he got some good photos that will whack on the screen. I don't know. I just kind of thought it was kind of neat. It also captured, while he was there, a kangaroo on the field, which, not like a former kangaroo, not like, it wasn't, I don't know,
Meninga or
Mark McGaw or Sparkles McGaw or anything. But just something unique. I think the argument, so the saying goes, or the argument is that those kangaroos are there every week, every afternoon, and that afternoon they're like, well, we're here for our afternoon tea. Like, bugger off. So, as a footy player, I don't know what you do. After watching that guy getting smashed by a kangaroo on the news the other night, I don't know whether you're telling to race off or you whack him in the back line and just tackle something, you know. What else? Well, you know, I'm starting to get a lot of interest in the Group 9 Challenge Cup.
Yep.
Almost one day will be as big as the Challenge Cup in England, maybe.
Oh, no doubt.
Anyway, the Young have claimed the title. So Young had put their $1,000 out the other week and have defeated Temora. So Temora's kind of originally won it by getting drawn out of the hat. So maybe there's a feeling now of a legitimacy around the fact that Young now are the holders of the Challenge Cup. And I'm not even quite sure yet who they're playing next week, whether they're going to throw the $1,000 in. Yeah,
and they won it quite easily, 36-6.
Yeah. And I don't even know whether as a player or coach or whatever, it's that bit of pressure on you, you know, like whether Temora go out every week when you got the $1,000 on the line, thinking, oh, you don't want to blow it.
Yeah.
But they certainly, whatever happened this week, maybe it's Young the other way around. Young go out there absolutely, you know, with the $1,000 in their eyes kind of thing.
Would it be good if you get all the way to the end of the year, grand final, and the holders meet the challenge? Think, you know what? Let's whack $1,000.
Yeah,
should have to be $5,000 if they meet the grand final. That would make it,
or even a jackpot in some way. Like you don't collect till the end, and it just goes up. I don't know. Yeah, there's so many possibilities with this idea. We get all the other competitions doing something like this. I know some have in the past, but bring it on.
Yeah.
Just a little, I always, I love talking about, former NRL players who are back in their home, their starting communities and making a different stuff. Yep. Adrian Purtel scored, has been captain coach of Eden.
Yep.
Scored on the weekend. Wow. Eden are doing quite well. What I like about Purtel's move to Eden this year was that he was heavily involved in the Albury Thunder, as you know.
Yep.
Albury was his sort of
home base.
Yeah, where he grew up.
Yep.
What I didn't realise, though, is Eden was actually his father's original club.
Oh, okay.
So I think the Purtels moved from Eden, and he was about 5 or 6 years old, Adrian. Yeah. So he never played for them himself. But his old man was still involved with Eden, the Tigers there.
Yeah,
and apparently they said, we're looking for a coach. And he said, well, maybe Adrian will have a go if you're keen. And then I think originally was a coach, and at the age of 37 has whacked the boots on again and scoring tries and doing well.
Well, we saw Josh Mantellato do that with the entrance the other week. He retired. He was running the water all year, and then he got the itchy feet and just put the boots back on.
It's got something to do with that Italian World Cup team. I've wondered whether he was going to come back just for that. I thought, I know I can still see Terry Cambisi doing amazing things down at Queanbeyan. So you never know. He might be a World Cup push.
Yeah. Cambisi is killing it.
He is, yeah. Get me a ladder out there as well. We'll see how many. We'll get to this later in the year. We sort of touched on it last year. We'll see how many World Cup players end up qualifying or playing in the World Cup from rural and regional rugby league teams, because I think greater than 0 is amazing, but there will be more than 0. That's for sure. Yeah. And that's got to be. It's sort of a bit of a quiet week. Once we get into the cut and thrust of the regular season, there's not a lot of rumours and gossip going around. No.
Well, I've got a couple of little things here. Berry Old Boys Day, we saw them before. They've got their Old Boys Day on June 25th. It's a Saturday. So plenty of time, a couple of weeks to prepare if you're a former Berry Magpie and you think, hey, I might travel down. It's a beautiful spot.
It's lovely ground as well, like I said from the other day. It's fantastic.
And also celebrating a centenary is the Denman Devils. July 30. It's like 3 days. I think it's extravaganza in Denman.
Yeah. Bring it on.
Yeah. $65 is the ticket. They've got Mick Jones. I'm not sure if that's the Mick Jones, the British one.
Yeah, from the Clash.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't heard. I can't confirm nor deny. Yeah. I haven't heard it isn't. So we could put out there. This could be a scoop. That it might be. Yeah. It'd be an interesting sort of combination there. Maybe get him to sign some footy balls. That'd be great.
So won't be Rock the Casbah. It'll be Rock the RSL.
rock the coalfields. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's July 30. I said $65 a ticket. If you want any more information, go to the Denman Devils Facebook page. The same with Berry Magpies too. Go to their Facebook
And that's
page.
I like these sort of being a weekend. I think what I like about the weekend thing is that families can go to some of them. You know, on game day, there'll be family sing. There'll be the evening things are for other kind of people that might want to go. It kind of caters to all fans, kind of thing.
Yeah. And just another one, Moree Boars take on Katingal Saturday. That's the top of the table clash. There's actually 4 teams locked on the same points, 12 points.
Wow.
But Moree Boars hosting Katingal in Group 4. So if you're up that way, get out and support some local footy.
It'll
Should
be
be
fantastic.
A
I think the rains have all gone now, and those areas will be beautiful and lush. The grounds will be green probably for the first time in years, so it'll be fantastic.
Yeah. But, and may as well stick with around the groups because this is sort of around the groups. We mentioned a Goulburn hosted Tuggeranong, but have a look at this kick here. I'll get this up on the screen for you. This is an under-19s kick. Now, obviously, we can't really tell how strong the breeze is, but...
or whether he meant to do that, or this is real... Holy moly. I mean, of course... The minute it came off his boot, he's going to tell everyone, oh, yeah, that was the plan. You know, like really, I always thought I'd just kick it, 8 metres away from the goal, let it curl in. But that was fantastic. I thought it was going to be exceptional, even if it missed. But it actually went through the post too, which is pretty cool.
So that was, and now something different. Obviously, we're the Country Rugby League show. We try not to divert, but it was pretty interesting last night. Hunter Rugby in Newcastle. Check out the score of this game between Hamilton Hawks and Lake Macquarie Roos there on the bottom of the screen. I kid you not, 28 tries to 1.
Macquarie at this point had scored, so they still were a hope. So they just need to put on a few more tries. Apparently reports are that the ref had to be carted off for blowing too much. He actually he blew too many times into the whistle.
Yeah.
With 176 points, he actually was getting a bit of a chest infection from having to do it. It worked so hard.
Well, I mean, this is the only time you'll hear rugby union on the Country Rugby League show, I promise. But you'd be filthy if you're the Hamilton Hawks because they're 176 to 5.
Yeah.
The world record was set by a Danish team in 1973, 194 to 0.
Oh.
So if they're playing for an extra 10 or so minutes, injury time included, they could have broken that record. But they've decided, 10 minutes, we've had enough.
Well, I mean, Lake Macquarie might have been in with that as well. They might have let them score a bit more. I mean, if they hadn't already been letting them score, they could have let them score a little bit more to get the record and be in the record books, Far out. I can't imagine watching a game like that. I've seen some pretty big points scored in rugby league, but... It must have just been a constant stream of kicking off and scoring, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's around the groups.
Yeah, around the groups.
Yeah. All right, mate. Quizmasters Trivia. Last week we had the question, how many draws were there in the Country Rugby League last week? Now, there was a lot of close ones. There was a couple of 1.2 point margins. But the answer was correct by Carol Smith. Got the correct one of 3. I had to go back through and count how many because I thought there was 5 or 6.
There was a lot of close games, a bit different to this week in a way. There were really, really close games last week. So, it did seem like there were more. Yeah,
so Quizmasters Trivia question this week. Have we got one?
I've got one.
You've got one?
I've got one. You don't even know the answer to this. No. Last week, there was a tiger off in a group where BarTV doesn't cover this group, but there were 2 teams that were the Tigers that played each other.
Right.
I want to see if anyone can name those 2 teams.
Yeah, I know. I think it's Castlereagh. There's 2 magpies that come against each other.
You get some 2 seagulls sometimes because those coastal comps. I can't think of a time before now where there's been 2 tigers playing each other.
I was just thinking A-grade Newcastle Hunters also got 2 magpies.
Yeah.
Arimba and Dudley.
Yeah. So anyway,
the
only clue is I might have mentioned one of them earlier on. So that could be a very, very big clue for anyone out there that wants to enter the trivia comp.
Right. Send us a message. Leave a comment wherever you see this. And if you get it right, you could pick yourself up a 12-month subscription of BarTV Sports.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal, really. Yeah. Like considering, I mean, it can't be that. I don't want people to Google, but it can't be that hard to in your head go, well, what tigers are there out there?
Yeah.
There can't be that many.
All right, this weekend, there's being the June long weekend, there's a few comps that are having the weekend rest, but Canberra are one of them, but they've got the George Took Shield rep side taking on the Group 16 rep side Saturday. There's actually 3 games of Ladies League tag. They're having a round robin with George Took Group 16 and the Canberra Raiders Cup.
Yeah.
Ladies League tag, so they'll play each other. Then there's the Youth League, George Took Shield taking on Group 16, and then the men's. So it's a big day of footy in Canberra.
That's a great idea too. I like these comps that are very close to each other, playing each other in some sort of rep round. But also there's a little bit of heat down. There's a bit of correct me if I'm wrong. There's a bit of like spillover. Like those two comps are kind of very, very close to each other.
Yeah. No.
From memory. So it's great. It's going to be a bit of a grudge match, really, to see which comp is stronger. Yeah,
so you can check that out on BarTV Sports or get to your ground if you're in the Canberra area. So Sunshine Coast, that's round 8. We see there on the screen the fixtures. Any of those ones tickle your fancy?
Well, I really like watching Bruff do his stuff. I'd have to mention him. But Kawana are actually, they're a good team, and they're sort of mid-table-ish, and they'd really want to knock over Gympie this week, so that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, so Kawana v Gympie. The other matches, Maroochydore hosting Caboolture, Biwa take on Noosa, and Nambour and Caloundra do battle round 8, Sunshine Coast. Gold Coast, round 10. Some big games there this weekend.
Yeah, a huge round up there.
Mudgery Bar v Burleigh, that is the match of the round, and Mudgery Bar will be looking to stay on top of the ladder, while Burleigh, I don't know if they've ever lost 3 in a row.
No, it's a real test because you really expect this to be the other way around at this time of year. You'd expect Burleigh to be leading the comp. So it's a bit of a mind game more than anything for Burleigh. They need to focus, but it could be easy for them to get a bit stuck in the sort of rut that they're in.
Yeah. Now, if Burleigh do win, Mudgery Bar lose, it's an opportunity for Southport or Tugun to go top of the ladder.
Yeah.
So they also clash. Ormo host Currumbin, and Runaway Bay will take on Helensvale.
Yeah, all good games, really.
Yeah.
It'd be fantastic.
Round 11 of the Newcastle Rugby League Denton Engineering Cup, the match of the round, South v the Entrance. That could be a crucial one for the Tigers.
Yeah. For sure. I think the Entrance and Wyong might be fighting it out for a spot in the final series. So that'd be interesting to see which one goes through the Central Coast teams.
Yeah, the other Saturday game is West hosting Maitland, looking for 2 in a row, the Rosellas. Macquarie host Curry, and Cessnock will travel to Carl Oval to take on Lakes United. Central and Wyong do battle on Sunday. That'll be a beauty too.
It will be, and by then, sort of Wyong, everyone will kind of know, obviously, how the other games have went. There's a lot riding on that Saturday to see whether Central can press ahead or Wyong can pass at the Entrance and move on further up.
Illawarra Rugby League, only the 2 games, but they're both being played at Dapto, so it's not a magic round, but what would you call it?
Dapto double header.
Yeah.
Or the Dapto... No, that's Dapto...
How good it be if they had the dogs on afterwards or while the games are playing?
Yeah, I've always thought that, and they could just, you get a mixture of crowd then, wouldn't you? You get people, and then people want to watch both. They're like, I want to watch race 3, but also there's a try almost getting scored at the other end. What do I do here? You got to split your eyes or something like that. But I think it just seems that COVID has born these double headers and magic rounds out of necessity.
Yeah.
The hubs of last year.
Yeah.
But I think they're great. I think it's just the mixture of fans and that kind of stuff. A really, really good idea.
Yeah, so Dapto hosting Helensburgh, and the other game is Thirroul v West, which I believe is on before Dapto. Just check BarTV Sports for the times. Group 7, round 5 catch-up game. They're the games on your screen. Probably the one that's probably the most tasty is Warilla v Jamboree.
Yeah, a cracker. I said at the start of the year, I really had a feeling about Jamboree. I did have a feeling about Casino as well. That hasn't gone so well. So I've got to actually acknowledge I get it wrong sometimes. But that will be a cracker of a game. I could not see Warilla being at that point this time of year, but that's going to be a great game.
Yeah, speaking of Casino, we're still trying to track down Chris Sandow.
Yes.
We don't know what's going on.
He was the man that was going to lead to the casino resurgence that I was talking about. Yeah. So, no, it's all his fault. I'm going to blame him.
So the other games in Group 7's Milton Ulladulla host Shell Harbour. Kiama travel to Shell Harbour to take on the other Shell Harbour team, Stingrays. Gerringong host Nowra, and the match of the round is Albion Park v Berry at Century Century Park, I think it's called.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, Centenary Park.
Centenary Park, yeah.
Something like that anyway. It starts with a C.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that'll be a good game.
No, and so no NRRL or Canberra Rugby League, although there is the George Took Shield taking on Group 16. So, and maybe a catch-up game, one or two at NRRL. We're not sure.
Yeah, and I think it'd be wise of them, I guess, to do some catch-up games this time of year because of how many games have been lost up there.
Yeah.
You know, but there have been some pretty hard times up there too. I don't want to sort of... You think of volunteers and players, all those people that have worked so hard up there to get games going.
Yeah.
They probably deserve a weekend off. They don't need to like, try to stitch together another game and get everything going again. It's been sort of bedlam up there, really, in lots of ways. I can't imagine how hard it's been to get those fields up and running, but they've done such a great job.
Well, mate, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Well done.
Fantastic. It's great highlights this week, and I can see massive games happening next week, so I'm really looking forward to this weekend coming up.
Yeah, should be a cracker of a weekend of footy. If you got the weekend off, stay safe. But that's it for the Country Rugby League show this week. Paul Arandale, Geoff Stevenson saying goodbye. We'll catch you next week.
He gives the ball across to Parsons and prematurely called his